Welcome to Gamepad Saga Podcast. I'm Eric.
I'm Black Man.
Is that what we're going with?
Sean.
How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. We got some big things going. We got big things coming.
Gonna be
Got
like
big
T.I.,
things coming.
big things popping.
Yeah, a little, not any little things stopping because the little things are coming with us too. But we got some big things going. We're not going to disclose those just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But once we get time to get that stuff done, we will let you all know.
Yes.
Otherwise, things are good.
Yeah.
I got a blue moon. I got at least 3 shots of tequila.
I took one.
Yeah, he was hiding.
Oh,
He was hiding when he did this.
but I wasn't sure if I took another one if we'd make it through.
Oh, we'll make it through. We'll make it through.
Okay.
We'll make it through.
All right. So we're going to continue talking about handhelds.
Handheldies.
And we are switching it to Nintendo this time. And I guess we'll just talk about the Game & Watch and the Game Boy line.
Mm-hmm.
But first up, the Game & Watch, which was released in 1980 or between 1980 and 1991. We did receive 60 games from that series. We can thank Gunpei Yokoi for these games.
Yes, Gunpei Yokoi.
And remember this name because he had a hand in creating a few other things. So along with playing ports, this thing acted like a clock and an alarm, I guess.
What, the Game & Watch?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Then you had games like Super Mario, Donkey Kong, The Legend of Zelda. And I guess by the time that they came around to releasing number 58, they decided it was time, I guess, for an improved handheld, which was created by Gunpei. Gunpei.
Yeah, Gunpei Yokoi.
Gunpei. God, it's going to be...
Gunpei!
It's going to be like the Mr. Willie.
Mr. Willie? Dr. Wowie. Dr. Wowie. Did you know where Dr. Wowie came from?
No.
Okay, so, all right. Well, you'll probably have heard this by now, right?
Yeah, they would have heard it.
In the podcast, we talk about Dr. Wily with Mega Man. And Dr. Willie has been the ultimate way to say it. So please, again, excuse my brother for his blasphemies. Please, but it's Gunpei. He
had his hand in creating the Game Boy. So a little bit about Mr. Gunpei.
Gunpei.
He was born September 10th, 1941, I guess in the Kyoto Empire of Japan. Unfortunately, he did pass away at the young age of 56.
Oh, damn, that is young.
On October 7th, 1997. But yeah, I was like, whoa.
That is pretty young, actually. That's kind of depressed me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to start on a sad note, guys, but just wanted to put that out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say in his journeys of being on this earth that he did bless us with quite a few things.
Oh, yes.
So you were talking about
plenty of
some of the things he did. He did the ultimate hand.
Yes. So in addition to the Game & Watch, he's behind the Game Boy. He was the creator of the D-pad in 1983, along with the Famicom controller. He was behind Rob and also the NES Zapper in 85.
Wait a minute. Hold on. He did the... Oh, guess what? The alcohol just hit me.
That's why I don't want to do two.
So he did he did Rob?
Yes.
And he did the controller for the regular Nintendo?
Yes. The Famicom controller and was the one behind the D-pad.
Really? Okay. That's interesting. Didn't know that.
NES Zapper also was behind the Super Scope and the Virtual Boy, just to name a few.
The Virtual Boy. What's the Virtual Boy?
The Nintendo Virtual Boy. It was like, I guess
was it like a virtual reality type thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know Nintendo had something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Had no clue.
Yeah, Virtual Boy, it was kind of like, I guess you can call it VR goggles with legs. and you would stick your head in it, and everything was lines.
Interesting. Oh, okay. So here's my version of the Virtual Boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is the emulation for the Game Boy Advance on computer.
That makes sense. Okay.
They called it the Virtual
That's
Boy.
what. Oh, that's
So
what
that's why I thought that this is what that was. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But he was hired by Nintendo in 1965, and his role was to manufacture their Hanafuda cards.
Yeah. We talked about that.
It's back on episode 7, The Evolution of Nintendo.
Evolution.
From cards to consoles. So make sure you check that one out.
Please.
And like I say, I already mentioned the Ultra and... But yeah, some pretty important things, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As far as gaming-wise.
This is going to be interesting, ladies and gentlemen, because this shit is hitting me like a brick right now.
You going to be okay?
Oh, I'm going to be good. Trust me.
Okay.
I'm going to be all right. But maybe forgetful here and there. So you might have to rein me in a little bit.
All right. We'll do that.
Boy. But yeah, let's do this deep dive. Let's get into it. There was some shicey stuff that happened with this.
All right.
But you go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, I got the Game Boy, which was released in 1989. Then they stopped making them, I guess, in 1999 before the year 2000. They do have a few launch titles, Alleyway, Baseball, a few ports from the NES console, Super Mario Land, and I guess Yukumuna. I can't even talk.
Let's spell it, Yakumana.
Yukumana.
Yukumana, I think. Yeah, Yukumana, yeah.
And it was, like I say, Mahjong type game. So
Mahjong. I love Mahjong. Mom got me into Mahjong.
Did she?
Actually. Yeah.
Oh. I always remember Auntie Deborah playing it all the time.
Yeah, Auntie Deborah played it all the time. Bless her heart.
Mm-hmm.
Bless her soul. Let me tell y'all a story about Auntie Deborah real quick before we get in there. All right. Story time. You know I like to do the stories.
Yes.
So, God, it's one of those things where I got to make sure I don't laugh the whole way through. Mm-hmm. So, I think you were home, but you were in your room.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened in the morning where you know how Auntie Deborah can be a little hostile, but we never really took it seriously because whenever she got mad, it was more funny than anything.
Yeah.
So something happened. Ree had said something to her or something like that. Nothing bad, right? Just kind of talk back to her.
Yeah.
And we went to school. We came back home. She was sitting on the couch. We said hi, Auntie Deborah. She said hi. And I remember going in the room. We were playing games for a bit. And then we both were leaving to go into the kitchen to get a snack. I just remember. So me and Ree shared a room, and then across the hall, literally maybe 2 steps. That's how big the hallway was.
Yeah.
You were in Eric's room, and our rooms were back by the bathroom, and then we had a little small corridor that opened up into the living room. You remember? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. So we're walking out and he's in front of me, and we get to the end of the corridor, and
I know what story you're telling.
And all I hear is now there was this shoe that came out of nowhere and hit my brother square in the face. Our aunt was a marksman shoe thrower. It didn't matter if you were on the run, if you were standing still, if you ducked. That woman had the aim of a god. The aim of a god.
Oh my god!
But yeah, Auntie Deborah. Yeah, but Mahjong was a good
Mahjong.
That mom actually, yeah. So mom actually got me on Mahjong. I didn't even know Auntie Deborah played Mahjong. Well, she would be sitting on the computer, right?
Yeah. I always remember. That was, I guess,
because
her thing.
Yeah, it was kind of the time when we wanted to get on the computer.
Yeah.
I'll get off when I want to. Finish my game of Mahjong.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Auntie Deborah. Bless her soul. Bless her heart. Love you, Auntie. Like crazy, but I love you. So he invented Mahjong. Or did he invent it? He did invent Mahjong? Yeah.
No. These were just launch titles for the games.
Gotcha.
Yeah. For the U.S. release, and launch titles included Tetris and Tennis. Obviously, they were ports from the NES.
Tetris and Tennis, and then I believe the American release was 2 different games. I think Tetris was one of them. Was it not?
Yes, Tetris and Tennis.
Oh, you did the American release then. Because Japan had a different release
Same
order.
ones. Sorry, I get a little out of order there.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh, you're fine. But Japan was the Mahjong game that was exclusive to Japan.
Okay,
But they received all the other games.
okay, and then we had Tetris. Tetris was packed into it.
Yes.
Tetris was packed into it. So funny story about that actually. So Mr. Rogers, I can't remember his friend. I think it's Henry Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually the president of the company who made Tetris.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually convinced, what's his name again? Yamauchi.
Mhm.
Convinced Yamauchi to pack Tetris
in there.
for the American release. And he said specifically, he goes, you can either put Mario in there, pack it in and sell this many amount of I'm paraphrasing, this many amount of units where you can put you can have little boys buy the Tetris packed in and sell Mario afterwards, basically. Because, I mean, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows who Mario is. You get that packaged with Mario. Well, I'm not going to do anything else, so I'm just going to play Mario the whole time because Mario's the mascot. Well, you get Tetris since it was on the Famicom before. Oh, wow, I can play Tetris on the go?
Yeah.
And then get Mario later?
Down for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's 2 games right there.
So Tetris was the highest selling game, but being a packing game kind of skews that a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it's like guaranteed to sell.
So, what was the, do you know the units of the original Game Boy that was sold that year?
No.
I believe it was over 200,000 units.
Oh, wow.
In
What was this, 89?
In 89, yeah, over 200,000 units in the first 3 to 6 months, something like that.
It's a lot.
That is a lot.
No, it's worldwide.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
was it worldwide?
Or just exclusive.
I think because it went out,
Japan.
it was in Japan first,
Mm-hmm.
and then 6 months later it came out in America.
Yes.
So I guess I want to say it's within the 6 month mark.
Still a lot.
That's still a lot. Yeah. That's still a lot. And I think, like you said, they manufactured until 99.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some, like I said earlier, there was some shiciness in the middle of this. So
Now is this like a Sega and
Atari? No, wait, no, not Sega, but Atari and Nintendo type thing.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Okay.
Kinda.
I mean, of course, the big name wants to be. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
No,
Big
I
name
was
wants to
just things going in my head. Like,
okay. You just
companies like, hey, we want our name here. We want everyone to know it's our product, not yours.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah.
The whole corporate company.
Yeah. So just to let you all know, like the things we love, the games that we love, the systems that have been entertaining for years, there was a lot of shit behind the scenes, as we spoke about in the evolution of Nintendo. And then
not all rosy.
No, it's not. It's not at all. And shout out to all those people that had to deal with this stupidness for us to have entertainment, because they're stressed the fuck out about all these things that are going on and what can make them not have a job or anything like that. So shout out to them. Although at the same time, as a consumer, I hope you get slapped in the face, because sometimes some of the corporate decisions y'all make piss me off.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's a trickle effect, right? It's like a drop of water into a lake and then it just ripples.
Yes.
So basically, Game Boy was touted, or it was called the DMG, which is the dot matrix game, because the screen was made in a matrix, or had a matrix form. And so I mentioned that because it's very crucial on the development of Game Boy, because there were 2 separate companies that were making screens at that time that were talking with Nintendo for the Game Boy. And that was Sharp, who makes our televisions, and Citizen. I don't know who Citizen is. No clue who Citizen is. But they met with Citizen first, actually.
Yeah.
And Citizen was giving them the rundown, what they do with their screens, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into
Just
so
like,
much specifics.
Giving them a pitch.
Right,
Hey,
right.
you should use us, or
And
I guess hire us so we can make your screens work.
right. And compared to what Sharp did, Sharp was very vague about their presentation.
Of course they were.
Yeah, why not? Right? They were going to go with Citizen because they didn't know what Sharp was going to do. They didn't know if Sharp's screen was going to be compatible with their components that they were going to put together.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is they went with Citizen. Just a verbal agreement, like, hey, we're going to go with you guys. So later on, I think it was like maybe 3 months later, after the initial verbal agreement, they sat down with Nintendo reps and Citizen reps. They sat in the room for about 3 hours or about an hour, something like hour to 3 hours. And they worked out a plan and an agreement. As the Citizen reps were leaving, they saw the Sharp representative go into Yamauchi's office.
Yeah.
After that time of that representative being in the office, Yamauchi went to, I want to say it was either Taki, who was another person. So let's back this up a little bit. The research development team one, R&D one, were the ones that made Game & Watch. R&D 2 were the ones that made the home consoles, Nintendo and the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
So Taki, I know his last name. I don't know his first name. Brother's looking it up right now. But Taki was the one that actually did the negotiation with Citizen. Yamauchi called Taki into the office after the Sharp representative was there. And Taki is part of Research and Development 1, just like Mr. Gunpei. Basically saying, scratch all ideas with Citizen, we're signing with Sharp.
Oh, wow. So he was that impressed by Sharp?
I don't know.
Or maybe Sharp didn't want to play their entire hand at first?
I don't know. I don't know because nobody knows. And this is information from the Evolution of Nintendo Volume 4.
Okay.
And those volumes are now made in English. They were made in French and the original Spanish back out in Spain. But they didn't come out with any English books or English conversions for a while until recently. So this is all cited from, well, not all of it, but a lot of information has been cited from there. But there's nothing saying or no information saying why Yamauchi chose Sharp over Citizen when he had already approved that Citizen was going to be the people we talked to about getting the screen for the game.
For them, yeah.
So I don't know what Sharp did. I don't know if there was some P. Diddy stuff going on. Like, I know you laugh, but I'm serious. Like, these people are sick.
I could see that. I could see, Sharp digging up dirt or bringing something that they didn't bring to the table at first.
Right.
Then barging in last minute, 11th hour. Hey, if you go with this company, this is what's going to happen. If you go with us, we can guarantee this.
Right.
No, I'm sure it's a play that a lot of companies use.
Right. And then even then, funny enough, Citizen actually went down on price on their screens too, just to see if they can retain Nintendo. So it was about 25. So Citizen had about 2,500 yen per screen. No, Sharp had 2,500 yen. Citizen had 1,500 yen. Sharp came down to 1,000 yen.
Okay. But
then again, what information or what technology did they have over Citizen? We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. I mean, it may as well be the same technology that we know of, right? But they came down in price.
Like, hey, okay, yeah, that's another way. That's like, hey,
so here was a slap in the face. Here was the slap in the face to Nintendo. So Taki, one of Gunpei's partners in R&D 1, was told to make a presentation to Citizen because Citizen wanted to retain Citizen for some odd reason or another. Research and Development 1 did. Yamauchi wanted nothing to do with it. They wanted to retain them. So they made a mock/fake presentation on a fake portable console that they said they would have later in the next year or so.
Ready to go. Oh, wow.
A fake one. Not even one that they even thought of in development. and gave them the plans or whatever it may be, and trying to retain them. And he had 3 weeks to go ahead and bring it up and bring it to Citizen's attention.
Yeah.
Citizen ultimately took those 3 weeks, or took that 3-week plan of how they wanted to do stuff and the screen that they wanted to try to make for this prototype.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the Game Gear has something very similar to, because the Game Gear came out shortly after that, and guess who made the screen for it? Citizen.
Yeah.
Taki bought a Game Gear and opened it up and had almost damn near the same schematics as what he mocked up originally. Citizen denies giving the information to Sega.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yes, it is.
So there's that. So then now Sharp is the end all be all to make this screen. Now Gunpei, I'm just gonna go with Yokoi at this point. So Gunpei Yokoi, we're just going by last name. So Yokoi and Taki and the rest of the crew finally get everything together. They do the sound chip with Sharp and all the rest of the good stuff. Yokoi did all the components with other companies. They finally got the Game Boy made. Now this is the first prototype. And excuse me on the years, I don't remember all the years. I know this was between 1984 and 89.
Development cycle.
Yeah, the development cycle for the Game Boy, because it came out in 89. Or 88. I say 88 because the Game Boy came out in 89. So what ended up happening was they presented it to Yamauchi, and the issue was that you couldn't see the damn game on the screen at all. You couldn't see it. Yeah. You had to be in specific lighting. You couldn't be in a whole lit room or outside because you couldn't see the game at all. And if you put it at a certain angle, you still couldn't see the game.
Right.
So then now Yamauchi picks it up. He goes, "What's this? Why am I picking up something I cannot see?" Yeah, we're done with this. Now, Research and Development Team 2, who did the home consoles, they were getting in Yamauchi's ear saying that this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to last. It's in black and white. Like, this isn't going to be the thing for Nintendo. We're going to lose all kinds of money. Now, mind you, they were like 70 million yen in debt.
Jeez.
Which, in equivalent to, I want to say, if I remember correctly, equivalent to America, it's 255 million. Something like that. I could be wrong. I could be so wrong. Yokoi was not so much like, I wouldn't say an idol, right? But Yokoi was looked up to in the company of Nintendo, giving his success with Game & Watch. But a lot of people were getting into Yamauchi's ear from R&D 2 saying that, oh, well, Yokoi is coming for the spot. He's coming for your spot. Because Yamauchi was getting older.
Right. And Yokoi was the
man that people looked up to, just because, like I said, like, he came up with all these inventions, all the rest of that good stuff. He's made Nintendo so much money.
And Nintendo sought him out.
Right. So, a lot of people were getting in Yamauchi's ear. And Yamauchi was like, nah, we're not doing this. From the smallest thing that he could find that was negative, no, we're not doing this. So this is where my boy Yokoi and his buddies, there were 3 other people that did it. Taki was another one, which I mentioned as well. There were 2 other guys. And there was some strife between the 4 of them as well. And we'll get to that in a minute.
Cutthroat business, y'all.
Yeah, it's cutthroat. Even it could be your own people, bro. Right? Your own people.
Yes.
So Yokoi was in the state of depression when he was told that they canceled the development of the Game Boy. State of depression. The man is reported saying that he was going to kill himself. All the rest of that good stuff. I don't blame him. I really don't.
Spend your life working hard, then all of a sudden, boom.
And then your stuff gets tossed out the window. Now, mind you, it's a bit extreme, right? It's a bit extreme. Like, you get one failed thing. Everything else you touched was successful. You get one failed thing, right? But that just shows how dedicated, how merciless that he is with his work. because everything he touched was gold.
Gold. Yeah.
And then for someone to tell you, oh, yeah, this ain't it. I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel it. Trust me. So he went behind Yamauchi's back and researched and talked with Sharp about getting a better screen. And then now it was I can't remember the exact terminology for this screen. It was like twisted something, right?
Yeah.
But that's how we have the green screen on our Game Boys today. That's where they came up with that. At that time when it was canceled,
Mm-hmm.
it was just out in the middle of nowhere. No one wanted to do anything with it. Mind you, we never would have gotten a Game Boy if they didn't find the screen.
Right.
We started talking about screens. Now we're ending with the screen. The screen was going to be the important thing.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you got to see what you're playing.
right. And Yamauchi, they presented it to Yamauchi once again. Yamauchi was like, look, this ain't the best, but you know what? It's a lot better than what I got. Let's go with the production.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1989, we got the production of the Game Boy. And it sold, over 118 million.
Yes.
And that's
So,
not
like hotcake.
That's not just the original. That's all the spin-offs, right? Because now you got to look at it this way too. So backing up to 1983, when the Game & Watch was still a thing, the only reason why the Game Boy, and this is the other reason why the Game Boy was developed, was because the Game & Watch had so many other companies that were making spin-offs of the Game & Watch games. So it's kind of like, what's a good example? Like something handheld. What would be a good example for that?
Like the Tiger handheld.
Tiger handhelds, Tamagotchis.
Mm-hmm.
Those things. There was so many different Tamagotchis. There was Digimon Tamagotchis. There was Tamagotchis. There was Gachitamas. Like there were all kinds of different things.
Yes.
That did the same thing. Or nowadays we have the Chromatic, which is supposed to be a remake of the Game Boy Pocket. We've got that new N64 system that's coming out that's going to give you an upscale resolution. I wouldn't say 4K, but upscale resolution on your N64 games now.
Mm-hmm.
Those are spin-offs, yes, but the Chromatic and that other N64 system would be what I would consider top tier, as opposed to, all these, the Tamagotchi analogy I gave.
Yes.
So, man, this is the only reason why the Game Boy was a thing, because people making spinoffs of the Game & Watch.
So then they just wanted kind of, hey, everyone should use our product.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, I mean, that was the shortened version of it, really.
Licensed product. Yeah.
That was a short, there's a lot more to it. So we'll talk about the four guys that were in there. So you had Yokoi, you had Taki, and two other people who actually were the hands in developing the Game Boy. Now, Yokoi wanted to make this a very simple, streamlined system.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want anything to do with research and development 2. He didn't want to make it the Pocket Famicom. He didn't want anything to do with Famicom at all. He wanted it to be its own entity. Now, all these things that we had, like the Game Boy camera, the link cable, what was the other thing we had? The solar charge battery.
I think I vaguely remember that thing.
Yeah, we had solar charge battery. They had the Handy Boy. Remember the Handy Boy, right?
Was that the magnifying glass?
Yeah, the magnifying glass with the speakers and stuff like that. And they had one with just the magnifying glass, right? I had the Handy Boy. I remember having that. That thing was awesome. Yeah. Yokoi didn't want any of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
He didn't want any of that stuff.
No peripherals?
Nope. He was persuaded by the team, some of the guys on the team, that actually said that these are things that need to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad, because now people have other opportunities or other things that they can use in order to go ahead and enjoy their Game Boy experience, because it wasn't backlit.
No.
You would still need these enhancements in order to look at your Game Boy.
Good luck looking at good luck looking at a Game Boy at night.
Right.
In the car.
Right. And it was quote unquote illegal to have the light on while you were driving.
Yes.
We're going to get pulled over. Yeah. You know what? They lied to us this whole fucking time. That's not illegal.
No.
It's just it's a cause for someone to get pulled over for sure.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not illegal.
No.
So just so y'all know, we've been lied to. All of us in our 30s and 40s and 20s. We've been lied to. We've been hoodwinked. We've been speckledorf. That's not even a word, and I agree with it. But yeah, a lot of the equipment that we have today that was original to the Game Boy. Now, there's so many different mods now, but a lot of that stuff was not in the plan. It was a lot of persuading, a lot of, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, kind of thing. But yeah, and now we have the Game Boy. Here we are. Here we are.
So we did get a few different iterations. The first change was in 96. We got the Game Boy Pocket, and this lasted until 2003. It was smaller, lighter, had a true black and white display.
Still no backlight.
So but you no longer had to deal with, I guess, the pea soup. That's what they kind of called it.
Pea soup. Explain what
the green screen.
Oh, the green screen. But the green screen was what it made original, man.
That's true. And then Japan, they got a Game Boy Light from 98 to 2003, and was just exclusive to Japan.
And that had also a backlight.
Yes. They labeled it electroluminescent. And then, heading towards the Y2K year.
2000.
So in
we still alive?
98 2003, we get the Game Boy Color. And as in the name, the screen finally offers color.
There's 756 colors. And they could do 150 something at a time. Something like that.
Yes. So, and this was Nintendo's handheld that would display, I guess, an 8-bit graphics, I guess you say.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. So, a thing to add to that, too, with the Game Boy Color is that the Game Boy Color was the first iteration past the Game Boy that had its own line of games.
Really?
Yeah. Game Boy Color games you could not play in a regular Game Boy.
That's true.
Yeah, I think that's kind of it for the Game Boy. I think
No, we got more. We got more.
Okay, well, shit. I thought that was all they did.
Game Boy Advance.
Oh, no. I'm talking about just the Game Boy.
Oh, just the Game Boy itself.
Just the Game Boy itself. Well, I guess no. I don't think that's it for the Game Boy. There's still some things because they came out with the Super Game Boy.
Did they?
Yeah, the Super Game Boy. You were able to play the Game Boy on your Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the Super Game Boy. They had the Super Game Boy. They had a little cartridge. It was like a Super Nintendo cartridge, and on the top, you just put your Game Boy in it, and you were able to play your Game Boy games on it.
That's right.
And
I forgot to go down the peripherals path.
When actually, the Super Nintendo kind of enhanced the graphics a bit on it. However, there was a Super Game Boy 2 that came out, and it was only exclusive to Japan, and it had a link cable. So you could link your other, say if you playing on the Super Nintendo, you're playing a 2-player game, you could link your cable to another Game Boy to play with somebody else.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But it was only exclusive in Japan, unfortunately.
Of course.
Because we don't get the cool stuff.
No. So we did Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance from 2001 to 2009. Was not only backwards compatible with the Game Boy games, it was backwards compatible with the Game Boy Color games.
Oh.
The last game for the Game Boy Advance. Samurai Deeper Kaio.
Deeper Kaio, but we're not even at the end of the Game Boy Advance.
No.
So let's segue into that. So Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
We just said that, obviously we can backwards compatible it, right? Now, I think the first Game Boy Advance, because I did a little research on it, not too much, but a little bit. The first Game Boy Advance was kind of like a big hunking machine, but not super big. It was still, me and you got big paws, so it still would have been uncomfortable to have in our hands, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the launch titles were at that time. Let me double check and see what that was. Game Boy Advanced. Did you have one? I know I had the SP growing up.
I did not. I don't say I wasn't a fan of handhelds, but it was just something I did not. So the top 10 selling Game Boy Advance games are as follows.
Okay, I guess we'll go with that.
We'll start with number 10, Yoshi's Island. I guess Super Mario Advance 3. They really wanted to make sure Advance was in the name. Number 9, Pac-Man Collection. Number 8, Namco Museum. Number 7, Super Mario Advance 4. Super Mario Bros. 3. I guess it was 2 games in one.
Yeah, I think that one was two games in one.
Number 6, Super Mario Advance. Number 5, Super Mario Advance 2. Super Mario World. Number 4, Mario Kart Super Circuit. Number 3, Pokemon Emerald. Number 2, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. And number 1, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. And then we did get another Game Boy Advance revision. Game Boy Advance SP.
That's Pizzle.
From 2002 to 2009. A complete revision that was, I guess, a clamshell design.
Yeah, it was a clamshell.
So I wonder if I got that confused between that and the 3DS.
No, because the 3DS has the same thing too.
Okay.
So it was a bit more compact,
Mm-hmm.
but it does have the same clamshell design. It doesn't have a double screen though.
Okay, that's probably what it was.
But the SP was great because
Mhm.
they actually came out with a couple different versions of the SP. It was the SP 1000 and the SP 1001, which had the backlight.
Okay.
So
Did you guys have one? I feel like you guys got
Yeah,
one
we
for
had the SP
Christmas.
1001. We had the backlight because we had the extra button on the bottom.
Yeah.
You could hit it and then the light
would
light
turn
up and it'll turn off or whatever if you wanted it off.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it took more battery. It took more battery.
Yeah.
So you had to charge it, right?
Yes.
It was lithium ion.
Okay, that was my thing. I was like, did we ditch the AA?
Yeah, we ditched
now
the
we
AA.
have the rechargeable battery.
Now the first Advance had AA's, I think. Maybe not. No, the first Advance did not have AA's. You had to just charge the bad boy.
Okay.
But yeah, there was the SP and the 1000 and the SP 1001. But I'll say that they had a really good title of games came out from the Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
And this was kind of like my kicker too, was that Sonic had a game on Nintendo.
Okay, so this is what, after 2000, so Sega's like pretty much, like you mentioned before, previously in other episodes, just a software company. So
Yeah.
they're just getting their, I guess, letting whoever have the license, so Sonic can still be out there.
Yeah, I didn't know how they were able to get that, and I mean it was only for like 4 games because I
Mhm.
mean it's only Sonic Advance 1 through 4, but they were pretty good, decent games for the most part. But it was around the time where I think Dreamcast was kind of at the end of its rope.
Mm-hmm. Short.
Very short, and that's insane. You want to know something? What really? I mean, this is kind of out of context a little bit, but kind of at the same time, since we're talking about Sonic, I'm surprised Xbox didn't make that exclusive. Because if you remember, Sega was exclusive to Xbox, the original Xbox, because a lot of the Sega games like Crazy Taxi and all the rest of the stuff was coming out on there.
That's right. I forgot about that.
But
I guess it was a way of Xbox offering more games for people to buy.
But you would think that Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2 would have been moved on there. But Sonic Adventure 2 was like one of the last games to be made for the Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think they would be ported over. But Nintendo got a hold of it. And for one of the best handhelds that Nintendo's came out with was the Game Boy Advance. They have 4 games, probably more,
Mm-hmm.
but 4 games that are part of its own main storyline, which I think is pretty cool. But I want to know how much money that Sega had to shell out in order for them to even have anything like that.
Yeah. God, it's always interesting. Those stories. Like, how did you guys end up over here?
Well, it might be a segment that we have to put out at some point.
Yeah, I would agree. And then I guess the final model of the Game Boy line became the Game Boy Micro from 2005 to 2009. Did not have backwards capability. So you're not able to play original Game Boy or Game Boy Color games. But yeah, that's all I got for the Game Boy line.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
All right.
But let us know what you think in the comment section. What ideas or maybe some things that you think could have gone a different way in the comment section on YouTube. Or wait, we got a Discord now.
Yes,
we have a Discord. Join our Discord.
The link, I guess, in the description.
Link is in the description. Gamepad Saga. Come talk about games. Hell, let's even play games.
Yes,
let's even play games. I'm down to play with anybody. Just don't piss me off. Right? I'm just messing. I'm messing. But it was some good shit talk will work me up to where I want to play you and beat you in something.
Right.
But yeah, let's play some games. Get us down there. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Thank you for listening.
All right. Y'all take it easy.
Peace.